September 12th baseball is packed with big-time matchups. Jacob deGrom returns to dominate in New York. Sandy Alcantara locks in at home for Miami, and Yamamoto faces Verlander in a pitcher's duel out west. Welcome to Outatime Sports. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for daily MLB picks. Tampa Bay at Chicago White Sox. Shane Baz versus Matthew Boyd. Tampa Bay 70%, over 55%. Baz is in better form and can control the game from the mound. While Tampa's offense has been consistent against Boyd, Chicago needs a strong start, but the edge leans heavily to the Rays. Kansas City at Philadelphia. Michael Lorenzen versus Walker Buehler. Philadelphia 65%, under 55%. Buehler gives the Phillies a clear advantage with his consistency at home. Lorenzen is less reliable, and Philadelphia's offensive power tips the matchup in a low-scoring game. Pittsburgh at Washington. Mitch Keller versus Brad Lord. Pittsburgh 60%, over 55%. Keller provides rotation stability and should outduel Lord, who's still developing. Washington's offense can push runs across, making this a higher-scoring contest. Baltimore at Toronto. Trevor Rogers versus Chris Bassett. Toronto, 55%, under 55%. Bassett thrives in close games at home. Rogers will try to contain Toronto's bats, but the Jays' discipline at the plate gives them the edge. Chicago Cubs at Cleveland. Martin Perez versus Tanner Bibee. Cleveland 65%, over 55%. Bibby's steadiness and Cleveland's balanced offense at home tilt the matchup. Perez must rely on control, but the Guardians look stronger. Detroit at Miami. Tarik Skubal faces Sandy Alcantara. Miami, 60%, under 60%. To aces clash, but Alcantara at home is the difference. Skubal competes, but Miami's edge comes from Alcantara's ability to limit mistakes in a low-scoring duel. New York Yankees at Boston. Luis Gil versus Lucas Giolito. Boston 55%, over 55%. Giolito looks to control New York's lineup, but Gil brings velocity and power. Fenway. Park and Boston's offense lean this matchup toward the Red Sox in a close battle. Texas at New York Mets. Jacob deGrom versus Jonah Tong. Texas, 70%, under 55%. deGrom is the difference. With dominance and control that should silence the Mets, Tong faces a huge challenge against a lineup ready to punish mistakes. Houston at Atlanta. TBD versus Hurston. Atlanta, 60%, over 55%. Waldrop can contain Houston at home, while the Astros lack a confirmed starter. Atlanta's advantage lies in their rotation and consistent offense. Arizona at Minnesota. Brandon Favit versus Pablo Lopez. Minnesota, 60%, under 55%. Lopez's experience and consistency give Minnesota the edge. Bott must avoid early mistakes against an opportunistic Twins lineup. St. Louis at Milwaukee. Andre Palante versus Quinn Priest. Milwaukee 55%, over 55%. Two young arms still proving themselves. Milwaukee's home field advantage and youthful offense provide the edge in a higher scoring game. Colorado at San Diego. Tanner Gordon versus J.P. Sears. San Diego, 65%, over 60%. Sears provides stability at home against a Colorado team that struggles on the road. San Diego's offense makes them heavy favorites in a high-scoring contest. Cincinnati at Oakland. Brady Singer versus J.T. Ginn. Cincinnati, 60%, over 55%. Singer's experience is the difference against Ginn. Oakland can threaten at home, but Cincinnati's lineup depth makes the Reds favorites. Los Angeles Angels at Seattle. Yusei Kikuchi versus Luis Castillo. Seattle, 65%, under 60%. Castillo is dominant at home and has the edge over Kikuchi. Seattle's bullpen and lineup balance make them strong favorites in a low-scoring matchup. Los Angeles Dodgers at San Francisco. Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Justin Verlander. Los Angeles Dodgers 55%, under 60%. A showcase pitching duel. Yamamoto and Verlander are two of the league's most reliable arms, but LA's offensive consistency tips the balance slightly to the Dodgers. Pick of the day. Texas Rangers over New York Mets. Jacob deGrom on the mound against Jonah Tong is the clearest mismatch of the slate. Safe pick. Miami Marlins over Detroit Tigers. Sandy Alcantara at home versus Tarik Skubal gives Miami a strong controlled edge. Value pick. Boston Red Sox over New York Yankees. Giolito at Fenway, backed by Boston's bats, provides strong value against Gil. Suggested parlay of the day. Texas Rangers, Miami Marlins, Boston Red Sox, Houston Astros. Which matchup is your lock tonight? Drop your pick in the comments, smash that like, and subscribe for daily MLB predictions. Outatime Sports, where the action starts.